Hi, everyone. Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my pleasure today to bring you Francis Eric Thorne, and he has a podcast called Afterlife Anomaly. How you doing, Francis?
I'm doing great. And how are you doing, Teresa?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here today. So you come from across the pond. Where are you located, Francis?
I'm in Plymouth in the United Kingdom,
Very
which is
nice.
down on
Very
a little coast. Nice there, like.
Yeah. So there might be a little bit of a delay, but I think we're okay. Francis, let's talk about your podcast. So what exactly do you do there? We went over it on the at the beginning of the show, but let the viewers know what you do.
Yeah. Well, we are Afterlife Anomaly, and we've got some nice little podcasts. I've just uploaded season one, which is 8 episodes on there. It's basically people's real stories of what's happened to them and their accounts of it. And I message them back and forth. We compile it, get it into their own words, and then I've created these podcasts. So it's basically their stories out there. On to doing live feeds as well now, and also creating videos of our own investigations. We're getting phone calls in now for people to go check their houses out, and we
Oh,
go around local sites and do our own little readings there. Like,
isn't that fascinating? I love this stuff.
yeah, you've got to have a bit of mystery in life, isn't it?
There is. So let's get down to the bottom right away. So you believe in life after death, is that correct?
I think so. Yeah, you've got to have something more than this, and there's something's got to explain all these little knocks and bangs that we hear in the night time.
So,
It's
Francis, and I agree with that. I think there's something, or we wouldn't be here. We've all certainly lost loved ones, and we feel something, but we don't know what it is, right?
correct. Yep.
So now you go into houses, and what do you do?
If it's an empty one, then we literally have a little walk around. We always do a little protection prayer first, like between ourselves, just to to boost you, like it's to for your own peace of mind more than anything. Empty houses, we go around each room and see what we can feel the energies that's in there. We got a lot of kit stuff that we have from pendants to anomaly pickups, which is like your little apps you can get nowadays online, which are point out anything that shouldn't be there and little anomalies, it picks them up. EMF meters, we get those out. And then my partner, she's really good at communicating as well because she can have a chat and the responses she gets on these little light shows is amazing. We will have some videos coming up in season two to show this. Individual people's homes, if they contact us, we go there, we have a chat with them first. What we don't want to do is get all the information off of them. We want to find out and see what we can actually discover ourselves, and then we speak to them after, and then we can see if we can tie the two up. So people have like maybe lost a loved one or they've got just weird, unusual things happening. We go around and have a look to see what we can do about it. Like,
So
and it's
you
all
you said before, Francis, your partner can chat with people with,
she's yeah, they seem to be very perceptive towards her. And I'm good
oh,
with like pendants and tarot cards now. I enjoy it, I can do that. But she seems to get a lot of the responses back. So she will sit there with an EMF meter and stuff. And she'll go for the alphabet and it will go off on certain ones so she can get people's names out of life. So who she's talking to, like she can get close to the year and all that as well. And what she does is like a testing question, we call it, where you go for the alphabet, you get a letter. So because ABC goes off on D, and then about 10 minutes later, you go back to that to see if you get the same responses on the same times, and that's how you get like names. Like last time we was up at a castle at night, she was speaking for a good 20 minutes to a gentleman called Douglas, and she found out about his wife and his friend and stuff like that, and they were from like the 1600s.
so she finds out information and you film this?
So, yeah, we get the films up and going, and I'm more the technical side of it now. Like I like getting out there in the dark, but I'm going more onto the technical side. So I'm doing all the filming, all the apps, and all the good stuff. Like she's now doing all the in front of the camera more now.
Oh, absolutely. I guess because we see shows that have that, right? And that's what you're doing is a podcast about
Yeah,
seeing or she's contacting the spirits.
yeah.
And so that's fantastic. Are these houses are, what era would you be in? You said
Well,
1600, I think you said was one of the spirits?
yeah, this was Oakhampton Castle, which has been there for like hundreds of years. Like, so that one of those was actually people pre for the council as well, because you think life's been going for day one up to now. So we've got thousands of years of stuff, and we can go to a house, but it doesn't mean that spirit belongs to that house. There could be somebody that was there 200 years before it was even built. It's just there right away that they go through.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I get that. So is it fair to say that the
Yeah.
older homes have the spirits, or do newer homes have them too?
All homes have them,
Yeah.
yeah. Old or new, yeah, because you're building on land that's been there for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And
But
as you walk down the street, you're walking through thousands of like potential where everybody else has walked, you know?
so I guess I'm thinking too, as you go through, perhaps the audience is thinking, so now you're talking to spirits in the house. How do you decipher who's who? And you hear lots of sounds in behind. So how do you
Yeah,
compare them? It's so fun. It's exciting. You
you
can
have
actually
to
record it.
it's a slow process. You do a lot of videoing, a lot of recording. Whilst you're talking, you're constantly like you have things like tape recorders as well.
Okay.
So like you record, but you literally record like 60 seconds, play it back, play this, play. So you're constantly trying to debug yourself, really. You want to get rid of all possible evidence that isn't relevant and keep the relevant bit of it. So it is a very much like a detective sort of game. Every little noise you hear isn't something that's going on paranormally. It could be the house settling, pipes going
Yeah.
off, traffic going down road, so you're constantly going over and over everything like that. That's why you have the testing questions at the start when you do it. You go, okay, go for the alphabet. You said your name begins with P. So I remember that. 10 minutes later, I'll go through the alphabet again and you should give me P again. So you're constantly double checking, triple checking everything that you're going through.
Oh, okay. So when you do your podcast, you're going and filming it, or is this all on audio?
No, we do everything. We film and audio. It's all together. So you've got something to cross-reference against as well.
Yeah,
So
because
what
I
would
wonder.
be on your site after you, Midi?
No, not at all. I was wondering if you so I know you said you videotaped it when you're doing the podcast. So these have all been live. And so I'm thinking if they're live and you can hear this, can you see anything? And you may not be able to, but can you see anything?
Sometimes you can, yeah.
Wow.
A lot of it's the corner of your eyes, but the idea is not to turn quick and look because a lot of times it's shadows, just somebody else moving, or it could be something half a mile down the road creating a shadow that happens to hit where you are.
Sure,
So
yeah.
yeah, so a lot of it's the corner of your eyes and all that. And the idea is to stay fixed to what you're looking at and then just watch it. Watch out what happens. Like you get a lot of misty stuff. A lot of people always go on about orbs and things on
Oh,
camera.
okay.
Yeah, which is a very difficult one because just close enough to your lens will make orbs and all that. So I'm not an orb sort of person. A lot of people are, and I don't debunk them. I think they are great, but to me, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think I'm that way too, Francis. I think I have to see it for myself, right?
yeah, when you see it, that's when you start to more believe it as well.
Yeah,
It's like
I guess I'm a doubting Thomas, but I think a lot of people would be the same way. They'd say, "Okay, let's see what you got here, Francis."
yeah, it is. It's I always say to people, it's the kid at Christmas. Your parents said they've got a bike, you're all excited and all that, but you won't believe it until you see it and you've unwrapped it. And it's the same with a lot of the paranormal stuff. And when you go in, you build yourself up a little bit because you're that excitement, like, oh, what's going to happen? But when you first see it and your body gets, oh, and then you suddenly realize, actually, there is something going on here. But even when you see it, you've still got to try and debunk it first.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, I'm thinking, so what got you into this in the first place, Francis?
I've done it for years, Judy. As a young teenager, like early 1980s, there was a lot of hype that you had all the films were coming out, and me and a couple of our cousins, we made our own ghost slammers, we were called. Me and Leslie and Raymond, we made our little ghost slammers. We go out on our bikes and out to these different places, and we got into it. And then, as you do as a teenager, you grow up, you start going to the pubs and clubs, and it all drifted. Then I joined the Royal Air Force, and I was traveling loads and going overseas a lot.
Oh, okay.
And a lot in Germany, it's massive over there, and it has been for years. And it brought me back into it again, like that. It become to a very much a big cult stays in Germany during the early 90s to the start of 2000. Everybody was doing it. So every time I travelled, I was joining in with them, like, and I just kept it going on from there, really. And then I got married and all changed, and I dived away a bit from it. But the last, because my partner and all that are into it, the last couple of years, we just built it all back up again. And there's so many groups around here that you can join. So I thought, why not do our own? We're trying to link on to everybody else, just do our own.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Because if you can, and you can visit these places and you can record such interest, people are interested in it, Francis. Let's face it, everybody's thinking, okay, it's a bit out there, but what the heck? If he sees
Yeah.
stuff, let's see what you got. And yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, so now, so tell me this. So people pass away today and they pass
Yeah.
away 1600 years ago. So, what do you think? And you may or may not know, what do you think is the feeling of the spiritual side coming through in the older places as opposed to today where we are? What's the difference? Tell me what the difference is.
So I seem to find the older ones, that the older spirits, as we call them, are more perceptive to you. Rather than somebody passes away today, there is like that crossover period anyway. Like if you die now, chances are I won't see a spirit for a week, 2 weeks down the line. You have that like process point where you leave the body, and then you've got to actually go out, and you become more vulnerable to the life that's around you. Whereas the older ones have already they've been doing it for years. They're used to it. And it's like a farmer. A farmer drives his tractor around that field all day long, doesn't get stuck. You jump on that tractor today, you've never driven it, you're going to get stuck. It's that sort of scenario. So the older ones come through a lot more. I think they've been there, they've done it, and they're more chattier. Whereas the newer generation now as well, being what I call the throwaway society, you've got that progress period. So you won't get something for a couple of weeks anyway.
Oh,
Things, yeah, attachment things as well. But junk shops, as we call them, charity shops, thrift shops, a lot of old stuff that's in those, and they are very good place. You walk in and you can feel it. If you're looking for
oh,
it, you feel the difference. So a lot of older spirits tend to attach more to objects than they do to places.
why is
And
that? Why is that?
I think a lot of it because years ago you didn't have the money, so you had the possessions, and what you had, you took care of. If
Oh,
you had a vase years ago, you loved it, you put your flowers in it. The same thing today, they're throwaway society. It gets a chip in it, they bin it. Years ago, they'd repair it, keep it. So they do become very attached to their old things that they had, like I say, like vases. It could be something simple. I go into shops sometimes, and it could be like an ashtray on the side, and you can just feel the difference with it, like sometimes you could just be sat there and things start wobbling on shelves and all that. But it could just be an old glass. But to somebody, that old glass was something at one time in their life.
and so you think they still are attached to it as a spirit?
I think they do, yeah. I think it's a lot of them tend to follow not so much where they were and where they grew up, but to an object. They follow that object and that object gets passed around the family, makes it, I think, a bit more special as well then.
So let's say someone buys something in a thrift store and it's
Yeah.
attached to a spirit, so that spirit may come home with them. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. I think so, yes.
And does that happen often?
I've heard a lot of stories about it. I've got a few stories that are going to come up in a new season of a podcast. And it's the same sort of thing. They've bought something, they've took it home, and then within weeks, something started happening in their home and stuff.
Things
And
like
then
what,
like
Francis? Tell us what happened.
they've had the object, say, I don't know, say it was a glass they bought and they put on the side. It's moved. They get up in the morning and they're the only person in the home and it's moved themselves. Or
Oh,
they've given it away, they've come back and it's back in the home and stuff like that. So things do attach to that. Strange noises we've had going on as well, like people suddenly starting to see like shadows at the end of the bed and stuff there. The biggest thing with objects is you tend to get an older soul rather than a newer soul with it as well. So you tend to be more of a, they're not mischief. They move stuff around because they think it looks better there than it does over there.
oh,
Where,
okay,
like,
that's interesting.
yeah, do you imagine like your grandma years ago, never sat down, always running around, moves
That's
the house, yeah, and that's what they're like. Whereas a newer soul, just wherever you put it, tends to leave it. But they're the ones who tend to move other things because they're nosy. Whereas the
oh.
older ones respect what you've got, is there?
Okay, so now let's talk about your podcast. So now it's a definitely an anomaly, as you call it. So
Yeah.
when you were building the podcast, is there an episode that's already on that you could tell us a little bit about something that
Uh,
you've done?
they're all on there. Literally, I've got contacted by so many people, like, because I thought I'll put a message out there. Loads come back and they said, this is what's happening. So I've visited quite, if close enough, I'll visit and I'll have a chat and sit down with you. A
Okay.
lot of them with constant messaging back and forth. A few of them I could relate to straight away to some of the things that have happened,
Okay.
especially the Crooked Hidden. I used to work down there, so I do know the sort of stuff going on there. And then when these stories come for the Crooked Hidden come to me, especially like about the Cavalier one, I know exactly what they're on about, and they're going to say because I've been in that situation, I've been in those rooms, I've felt it myself over the time that I worked there and stuff and that. And it was so I could relate to what they were doing. I knew exactly what they were talking about before I even got there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's good to say, especially say the Crooked Inn one is amazing. It's such a hive for paranormal activity down there. Like you go down and stay there, and you can feel it at the night time, especially if you're in the rooms. The amount of guests the next day would say, "Oh, this, that, and the other." I said, "Oh, no," and I say, "What room you in?" Or if they described, I could say, "You're room 5, you're room 3, you're room 8," and exactly straight away. Like,
Oh, is that right?
yeah. So if you ever come to England, that's where you want to stay. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. I know England has a lot of the castles and the older homes and the sort of perfect stage for this sort of thing, right?
yeah. Yeah. But Scotland, I think, has got the better. If you want castles and stuff like that, Scotland, that's the place to go. And they've got these weird things. Where we're down in the south. So we're
Okay.
down Cornwall, Devon side. Like,
Okay.
down here's loads from your castles to your National Trust houses to so many ruins scattered around. And that's the ones that you want to mooch around, is these old ruins and things like that. Because they're the ones where you get the peace and quiet and you also get the history of generations there. So you could have somebody from the 1500s all the way up to present day sort of thing, like down there. So they are the really good story ones like to get.
Oh,
And
so
it,
so spirits are in the house that have been there. They may have been over time, different eras.
yeah, that's it. Yep.
Oh,
But I
so it's
think
like
that,
Ghost, right? The show Ghost, where they are
yeah,
different.
yeah, you could move into a house that's 200 years old, and that you can actually have a builder that died while building a house at the very start
Oh,
of that. You know? Or you could have somebody pretty recent, or you could have somebody that's not even related to that house. Because I say the world's full of so many people have died over the years. It's just full of spirits everywhere you go. There's something there somewhere, like
so
that.
Francis, so when I'm thinking about the spirits, we all have probably the same idea. We have like ghosty ideas and things like that.
Yeah,
So let's say you were to say, okay, you see the spirits. You said you have peripheral vision, you can see things sometimes, right? And you said you can feel things sometimes.
yeah. You can always feel the difference in temperatures and that as well.
Okay, so when you first felt that or saw something or moved, did
Yeah,
you immediately believe it or did it take a long time for you to warm up to this?
it took a while. I think when I say back in the early 80s, when me and my friends we made our own little ghost slams we recorded.
Yeah.
We went to this. Oh, we got to come to my house. Come here. So we went down there. And the first time we saw something, we run. We were gone. We were on our little bike
I
heading that
would
way.
too. I would
Yeah,
today.
yeah, and then afterwards we thought, nah, it's somebody having a laugh. In the village where I grew up, there's an inn down by the water, like the old inn it was called. And we was there having a drink with our friends, and we was talking to this lady up the top of the stairs, and she was eating these little nut things, and just chatting away with her, like. And then the barman came out and said, "Oh, not allowed up there." Like, so we're talking to this landlady, like. And goes, "Ula," and we turn around, and there's the only way in and out of that room was where we were stood for that doorway, and there was no one there. But there were like the cashew nut shells on the floor, really old
Okay.
ones. No, like that. So we thought, hang on, we felt weird, tingly body, but then you thought, we've been in that situation, nothing's happened to us. So if it is going to happen, it would have done.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah, so for my curiosity just staying up, now I've seen it, you got to try and believe it. And that's the
Yeah.
hardest believing bit.
Yeah, I think there's an element that you have to, yeah, you have to be open-minded, right?
Very much. I think, yeah, we will go out and we can get 12 hours of footage on camera and on the tape recorders and everything like that. But a lot of it gets done. You might only end up with 10 minutes worth of stuff that you cannot prove is anything but paranormal activity of some description. And that's where the anomaly comes in. And that's what we do. We find the anomalies, not anything else around it. Like, so you got, it's a very investigative game. You've got to get rid of anything that can't be described as anything but activity first, get rid of everything else and then bring that back onto the table and say, what have we got here? And if you can't prove there's anything, there's your activity
And
list. That's one
sometimes
one.
some of the shows show heat or an outline or something. Do you have that
Yeah,
sort of thing too?
yeah. The best one now is SLS cameras where you can film it and it outlines people. Yeah, do a little stick insect view, and if there's something next to you that you can't see, it picks that up as well. So you've got two people in front of you, but suddenly you end up with three signatures there, and that's the more popular one now because it's so easily available on all the phones, and so much technology is on your phones now. You can do it that way. Heat signatures are good, but they can also pick up every bit of heat that's in that room. You can have an area where you've stood and moved, and then I film that area, and your heat's still there for like at least a minute.
Oh,
So that will
sure.
pick up an anomaly straight away. You see? So you've got to really, if you're going to go heat wise, you've got to go first with that. You can't have everybody doing everything and then bring that out later on. You've got to do that first. You know?
I think it was like that with the orbs too, because we all were hearing about these orbs and the pictures and all that, but then it could be just a faulty camera. It could be anything like that too,
Yeah,
right?
just close to the lens, lights like you could be 2 miles down the road, and if you've got a road near you, a car goes down, it will create enough light to actually get your light, and then that will go onto your lens, your camera. And when you're looking in the camera and you're looking at that, two different things, like you see this nice and clear, and you see everybody else happening. And the amount of things only, but it could be just be light from 2 miles away, creating that effect. Like,
And that's true, right? So that's the
yeah,
investigative side of you that's coming out, right?
yeah, it is indeed. With orbs, we always say, look at the pattern it creates.
Okay.
Because like dust tends to fall its own little way and down it goes, or a straight line, whereas orbs move around. So if you've got something that's literally moving around the room or following one person particularly, and it creates above them, usually they usually spiral off. That's usually an orb, like because it's not stuck. It's not being moved with the wind and all that. Like people walking by, dust scatters everywhere. Orbs, one, they follow their own natural little pathway.
That's very interesting, Francis. Wow, all of this information, right? It's
We're
so
all learning something new.
it's so exciting. And so so what, okay, so let's get down to another part. So I'm thinking there's good spirits and there's not so good spirits. Is that a
Like
fact or no?
it is, yeah. It's like anything. There's always a good and bad. At school, good child, bad child. Spirit's the same, good child. But the spirit, whether it's good or bad, doesn't relate to the person that's created that spirit. You can have a good person with a bad spirit, or you can have a really bad person with a really good spirit.
Why, how would that happen, Francis?
It could be how they passed on. You could have a happy
Oh,
person if they passed on a certain way, it could be really upset and angry about that.
I thought they
So,
couldn't tell how they passed on. I always thought that spirits didn't know
oh
how
no,
they
no,
did.
you have a chat with them. If you get a good connection, you get a good rapport going. Like my partners, you can sometimes find out how if they died, especially if they died, say, the plague, it's a slow process. So how they
Oh,
die, so they know what's happening. Whereas somebody who crosses the road and gets run over, it could be instant, may not know that. So some don't sort of thing. Their character now as you are alive doesn't mean that's your character when you pass on. So
oh, okay.
you could be a nice, happy person, help everybody. You pass on, you might decide to be mischief. You can now do things you couldn't do. Is that you can
Oh,
now walk forward, you can move things out people's scenes. So it all depends on you as a character, because it will be a completely different character what you are now. Like
yeah,
if you
because
remember,
I think I'd be mischievous.
yeah, I'm like that now, so I'm going to keep doing it. It's more
Yeah,
fun.
you might be like, okay, there's a few people I'm gonna just come back and surprise.
Fires them on, like, innit? We're the
Exactly.
probably glasses called it. I'm one of those who moves your glasses and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Good.
exactly.
But then you actually on the flip side, you've got the badder ones. This is why you do like your little protection spells. Like the original religion of this country is paganism and Wiccans
Yeah,
anyway, which
yeah.
is all that through that. And they've always done these spells, and so we always do one at the start and one at the end, which is
Oh, you
basically
do? Okay.
creating. Yeah, you create like a little safe bubble for yourself to be in, and for your team and in the area that you're in. So we always do that anyway. And if you think you're picking up a bad spirit, then you let it go. You don't carry on pestering that. You leave it to the side, and then you try and find something not so like maleficent against you. It's hard to tell sometimes. You don't know what's going to come through, and it can also disguise it. It pretend to be good, and so you're letting it do what you want it to do. You're chatting away, and then that's when things change. That's why we say never take nothing home. Always see your spell before, do it after, open the light for them, and then cleanse the area. Let them stay there or move on if they want to. Never bring nothing home because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I want to ask you one more thing, Francis. So I saw you had a Ouija board behind you in your not yeah,
Metaphorically, yeah,
not
metaphorically.
that one. You had a Ouija board on on your Facebook. That's where I saw it.
So yeah, yeah, the big one like that.
So do you believe in that sort of thing? Do you use a Ouija board,
Yeah,
things
I
like
don't
that?
use it as person myself. There's a lot of bad press against Ouija boards, and a lot of it's because of movies and things like that. Used properly, the right hands of it, then yeah, they're fine. It's your little give around. It is hard because your brain wants things to happen. It's the same when we do pendants. You hold a pendant. So like with pendants, you hold a pendant and you get a conversation going, but your brain wants it to move that way or that way
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's right. That's what I've always thought. I've seen those before, and and it really, to me, you're moving it anyway.
Yeah, the slightest movements of your hand will make it change direction. So what I tend to do when I do them is I put them on a frame. I have a little board down and I have a frame and it hangs from that, so I can't manipulate it.
Oh, does it move then?
Yeah, yeah, especially if I sit here at night on my own, like when I stay over, I can get a really good conversation. I'm not even touching it. I'm not blowing it. There's no air coming through the windows, and you get it moving and stuff like that.
Is
One of the
that
videos I'll
right?
be doing will be yeah, and I'll be showing it in one of my videos that I create. I'm going to show how it does it. And when you first do it, when you hold it, you can feel the pull, literally of it moving. It's right weird. You're like, ooh, and it gives you that willy sensation. You're like, ooh, like
Yeah,
feeling.
it would me. I would be like, ooh, all the
Oh,
goosebumps would be coming up on my arm.
they do. No, my hair comes over my hair.
Oh,
It's one of those. It's like a trained art. You just can't jump into it straight away. You've got to build your body up, and it's what we do. With when we go on our investigations, we always go for a nice meal first. So you got a nice full belly. We don't drink alcohol. We have one or about that. We keep ourselves healthy as we can. So when
yeah.
you're out these places, you've got a nice clear mind and body. You're full. You've got no distractions. You're not thinking about when I'm going to get something to eat, when I'm going to have something to drink, how long I'm going to be here for. Phones go on to their little silent modes, and we turn all. You can have your phones on, but all links to it, so your Wi-Fi's and your data and that gets turned off because that will affect your kit as well. You see that? And it's
Because
also a
it's energy,
distraction.
right?
It is indeed, yeah, especially with the meters we have. There you go. Oh, your meters you have like and stuff.
Oh,
These will, yeah, these pick up electricities and stuff like that, which the spirits love it. And then when my partner gets his moving left, right, center. But your phone, if you turn your phone on, it will go like that because it will come on like. And every time you
oh,
get a message coming through, it will go on and on. These are brilliant EMF meters. You can buy these like everywhere, Amazon, a lot like they're really good ones. You sit and have a conversation, and it moves. And if it starts to move, that's when you know you've got something. There you go, touching it and making it do that, like.
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, brilliant, great. Got the
Now,
best ones.
and in
Cat ones are
behind
the
you,
best.
I saw the pentagram behind you. Sorry, you showed
Mm,
that too. Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
So what is that one there for?
This one,
Yeah.
and that's when I do like my tarot. I do tarot cards and that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a jack of all trades.
And so
I love it.
you do tarot cards on there?
Yeah, I do tarot cards on there because these ones are the best ones because they got like all the information on them. But you can
Oh,
use
okay.
your yes and no questions and that as well. Like, and
Show me something now, Francis. Show everybody something now. Can you do that?
pick a card, any card.
Okay, pick a card. Let's go with the card.
Okay,
Let's
right. This is like the most. That's the Fool, which is actually the more powerful card of all the tarots.
okay.
Which is everybody always puts someone down as, oh no, the Fool's the bad one. No, he's the good one. He's like the more dominant one. He means a new start. He's taken that leap of faith because he's stepping off the edge. But that
Yeah.
actually means he's taking a leap of faith. So you are now moving on to new things. So
Oh,
yeah, so the cards they are pictures, and the idea is you take your picture and you look at it and you read what the picture tells you. So
oh,
you got the
okay.
Hierophant, whereas with the Hierophant, he is obviously the high one. You got the people below looking up to him. So it means that you are going to become the one with all the information. People are going to look to you for the information. So you're like top dog.
Oh,
But what people forget about is you also have the flip side. Because if you do a full reading, you mix them all up. So some
sure,
cards
sure.
might be upside down, which is the complete opposite. So what it means
Oh, Oh, I
Yes.
see. So when you flip the card, if it's upside down, now you read it opposite what it says.
Yeah.
I
So
get
you've
it.
gone from a good thing to a not so good thing sometimes like that.
Oh, okay.
There's no
Thank
like
you for doing that. That was fun, Francis. I like this sort of fun things. I don't expect you to do
I
more. That's
know.
awesome.
It's
So,
brilliant. It's when people want big readings because you have simple readings, you have a single card. The standard spread is three, which is like your past, your present, and your future reads, which you can do regularly. But you also have a salted one, which is like a 10 card spread, which takes like hours. Oh, one of them. Oh, I did just go on forever.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, oh, 10 cards and you got to link them all and it's great. But I enjoy it. I like the tab because it just gives you that little nudge in the right direction.
Okay. So you do tarot cards. I understand that. And you
Yeah.
go into houses and so people can get a hold of you, Francis.
Yeah.
What's the best place to reach you?
On the Anomaly site, on Facebook, I've got there, it's got the Anomaly Afterlife. I've got an email address on there. So they can message me, email me, and I just get back to them. We are busy. We do get a lot of people wanting to do this. So yeah, we do get quite busy and we're limited to our time, but I will respond to as many as I can do. But I
Oh,
can do
good.
it. The Afterlife, yeah. The best one's the Afterlife team at gmail.com is the best one to get us on there.
I'll have all your information on the show notes so everybody will be able to reach out to you. Francis, I had fun today with you. Thank you so much. I really
Always
appreciate
fun.
that.
No, I appreciate you speaking to me, like.
Absolutely. So, everyone, this is Francis Thorne. You want to get a hold of him, go on Facebook and all his social media. I'll make sure it's all here for you. And thank you so much again, Francis. And to everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. I hope you're all having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you all very soon. Bye bye now.